Trying to podcast.
We in the
I'm trying
streets
to
trying to
steal
podcast.
candy
We in the
from the
streets talking
kids.
that shit. We in the streets outside of New York. But it is what it is. It's the Bullshit for Your Health podcast, episode 128. You already know the vibes. At this point, if you've been listening, you know the vibes. But
Let's finish
again,
work.
we have to be short and
No,
concise this
that's on.
episode. You said, you said what?
I think.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, we gotta be short and concise this episode. 2 hours, if my battery lasts. But we got a big episode for you guys. Okay, we got a lot of bullshit that's happening. The Lil Nas X situation. We think that nigga's out of jail. Diddy only sentenced to 4 years. Bad Bunny the headline of Super Bowl, and apparently every white person in America is mad about it. And most importantly, a lot of news going on. We have 1,200 people detained by ICE going missing. The AI bubble might explode. We have to rest in peace, big rest in peace, big rest in power to Asaf Shakur. We have individuals in the Trump administration like Tom Homan getting caught on video by the FBI accepting $50,000 of cash bribes and apparently not going to jail. And then, of course, we are in what now looks to be the second largest government shutdown this country has seen. But before we get into it, how you doing, Donnie? How's life been?
Life's been pretty, you know, I have a job.
Yes, yes. Blessed to have a job, blessed to be employed. I'm gonna sit in this chair right here until somebody tells me to get up. Um, but it is crazy out here, though. A lot of people are getting laid off. A lot of people are going to start to feel the reality that we talked about 2 episodes ago. How we, in the working class, are closer to being homeless, closer to needing food stamps, closer to needing some type of government assistance than we are closer to being a multi-millionaire. But yeah, where do you want to start, man? What's been on your mind lately? Anything burning?
I think we all need to put our phone down 1 hour earlier and go to sleep.
Daylight savings is around the corner.
So I'm going to start early and start saving my daylight now. Y'all can start whenever you want.
I'm weak.
But personally, the only thing that's been on my mind is going back to sleep. What else? Let me think. What have I
On record,
ranted
my brother,
about
I
this
don't have
week?
any cash for you. I'm sorry. Wow, this is crazy. I feel like the level of background noise on this episode is going to be jarring, quite jarring. Do you hear it?
Believe it or not, it's better than when Isaiah's here with his birds.
Good lord, good lord. Um, no
I'm trying to think about something. We were talking about something important. Oh, the thing that's been on my mind the most is the Virginia
election.
govern. Yeah, govern. What's the word? How do you say it? Gubernatorial
Gubernatorial election,
election.
yes. Hmm.
What else?
I mean, let me just go out here on a limb and say, for everybody who's out there voting early, we applaud you. Some of us, myself included, are dumbasses, and we're too late to get their absentee ballot. So, yes, skewer me in the comments, skewer me in the DMs. I deserve it. So, at this point, I am just really hoping that
Mind you, he has the free time to drive his ass to Virginia or take a bus. He refuses to.
it's a 6 hour drive,
I'm
okay?
telling you. I'm exposing him. He spends all that time yapping on the podcast about the State of the Union, and he won't even do his little
It's,
part.
it's not that I won't
Crazy.
do my part, it's that
It's just that I'm too lazy to do my part, said every American ever.
yeah, no, you know what? Shit on me, please. Shit on me.
Oh, yeah, no, I've been waiting for this moment. Ever since you told me your ass didn't do what you needed to do, you spent all this time flapping your gums about all these things. And the one thing anybody told you to do, you didn't
Yeah,
do.
I can't,
Yeah, they're
and
going
I
to hear
really
about
have
it.
no excuse
I'm going to repost
because
it, too, on my Instagram.
you're gonna make your own clips. And listen to
I'm gonna make my own clips. Jabari is a liar. He talks about things. He doesn't believe in voting.
no, I do believe in voting.
All he wants to do is DJ in New York. Y'all don't want to hear me. You just want to dance. Oh, I'm gonna use that quote exactly.
You're gonna take my video, the video you took of me DJ, and just play the
Yeah.
sound over it.
And And Andre 3000 is gonna repost it.
That'd be odd.
Just like that one time Aaron Carter reposted something and then he perished like a week later. I think about that all the time.
Wait, like
Like, did I trigger an episode of
I
Aaron
love candy.
Carter because I tagged him? And yes,
Wait, wait, wait. Face tattoo.
I was. Do you want to know what happened? I
Yes,
was in
yes.
PA
What
school
happened?
and we used to play music in our
Okay.
prom class, and I requested the music person to play. Or maybe it wasn't even me, but like somehow we were playing "I Want Candy." I took a photo. I posted it. I tagged Aaron Carter. He reposted it, and we are like, "Oh, that's so weird. Why would he repost that?" And then I kid you not, 1 week later, the man died of
Jesus
an overdose.
Christ. Can you post something about Donald Trump or JD Vance?
Can I use my powers for good? Is that what
Yes,
you're
please.
saying?
Um,
They have to repost it though.
I
That's my
mean, if
power.
you do something about eyeliner, maybe JD Vance will repost it.
Oh my gosh, cut it out. Well, JD Vance doesn't seem to need my help. He just has to
Oh
visit
my
you.
god.
So we need to get like the other version of that and have someone visit him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But no,
That's everything but away.
what bullshit has happened that we should talk about? Because I mean, or do we want to get into like some real shit with these people real quick? Because I do think more and more Americans are primed for the revolution that will not be televised. You know?
Oh, the bullshit from last month that I saw is I guess I've never been on Truth Social, so I've never paid attention to. I didn't know that like our whole last president was using AI to the extent
Oh
that he
yeah,
does, and
he's
I
a
was
fucking
it's
boomer,
kind of entertaining.
like through and through.
Yeah. So,
He's like your grandfather who's on Facebook believing any goddamn meme that flies past him. It's insane.
yeah, except now it's your grandfather's creating the memes. So like,
I don't even think he's creating it. I think there's
you know.
some staffer who's like, yo, Trump's gonna love this one. And they post it and he's like, oh, I do love this. This is amazing. And then he puts it out. Like, this man is so focused on destroying the East Wing of the fucking White House. He doesn't care about anything else.
He's not destroying a Jabari. He's renovating. Okay,
Jesus Christ. If Obama would have done.
he's trying to make the White House great again. Pay
Yeah, no,
attention.
no, no. Okay. All right, all right, all right.
I can't. I should look into the history. I bet the East Wing is where they kept the black people or something. There's always something sinister
No,
about his
I mean,
motives. It's like where all the bodies are
I mean,
buried.
truthfully, the East Wing is a newer addition to the White House in general. Like, it was created during the Truman presidency, and it was kind of
Useless information department.
okay. You're right. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. I do think though it is exemplary of what this man has done in such a short time to some of the more foundational principles of our government, as well as some of the foundational programs of our government. He's completely unilaterally destroyed a lot of things. But before we get into that, I do want to speak really quickly on the Bad Bunny Super Bowl. As we talked about
Mm.
last year, or not last year, last month, Benito is an activist and an artist. And to see him be awarded the largest stage in American entertainment history is quite beautiful. I'm quite excited to see what he brings to that stage. I definitely think he's going to use it to advocate for Puerto Rico as well as Hispanic Americans throughout the diaspora. Um, I am amused at the racism of some Americans who clearly don't understand that Puerto Rico is a colonized territory of the Americas. So when people are like, oh, no, I think it was Donald Trump himself.
All this has proved to me is given a citizenship test, most of you could not, in fact, be citizens of this
Facts,
country.
facts, facts. They bring back what was that voter ID law back in the day where you had to pass a test? Like what was it like what was that black code that you had to do for people?
I don't know. It just depended on how smart you were. 'Cause it just
No,
got
like
harder.
I feel like if we brought that back, it might even out the play. You know? Jesus Christ.
Um, wait, shit. I was about to say something. Full voter ID. What were you saying right
Oh,
before
I
that?
was just saying it's
Oh,
yeah.
Bad Bunny. Oh, I saw the NFL commissioner. um, like basically backing up their choice. I was thinking about the fact that last year they
Kendrick Lamar.
had Kendrick perform, and I think like the NFL being as like problematic as, of an institution as it is, their ability to utilize like people of color to get
Sanitize.
viewers for no, I mean to get viewers for the show is like I personally don't think that there's anything that Bad Bunny could do on that's gonna like make a difference. Quite
Of
frankly,
course.
I
Of
don't. I think
course.
like entertainment wise, like yeah, like it's great. I thought Kendrick Lamar did a great show. It was moving for the people who knew what the fuck was going on. But once again, if you don't know, you don't know, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. And all those people are concerned about is like he's not American, he's not singing in English and whatever, and that's not literally not even the point. So I think sometimes we
And
miss
he
the plot, right? With
and he
everyone's just like,
is.
wait,
He
wait,
is.
wait, wait. But right, but my thing is, why the fuck are we watching the NFL? You know what I mean? Like, I'm so confused. Who gives a fuck who's performing during the halftime? Like,
For
I don't
sure.
know. Didn't we cancel the NFL like 3 years ago when they wouldn't let our boy Colin
No, no,
Kaepernick back
you
in?
didn't hear?
I
Jay-Z
don't
said
know.
we're done with that. We're done with kneeling.
Yeah, and I've been saying that Jay Z's a motherfucking sellout, and y'all can come find me. I'll give you my goddamn address. Like, you can come
Now,
find me.
Beyonce, we're
Like,
still holding out, baby. Divorce him. Take the money. Come back home. But
I'm not. I
don't say it.
honestly,
We love it.
silence is
She's doing it.
complicit.
She's I
Silence is
mean, but she
complicit.
is putting out the music that is historical and doing what it needs to do through the Renaissance albums.
Oh,
Yes.
is it? She's putting out the
Yes.
music and then charging how much money for people to come and
The,
see
the
her.
music the music is basically free though. And again, what I do appreciate what she did with the
Maybe.
Renaissance album is because again, because again, what I've been doing recently, as Donovan did say, I am now a new age DJ. Yes, having a midlife crisis at 31. But what I will say is that through my research, through my
Almost 32.
uh, tight programming for my upcoming sets, and re-listening to the Renaissance album, she didn't. It was people were kind of uneducated when they said it was just a house album. No, she has house on there. She has uh, techno. She has electronic music, and then she also has I think I forget what it's called. There's a specific style, but it's like uh, created by the LGBTQIA plus community. Specifically, it's like that Jersey bounce, that bop, but it's like a lot of like, okay, I'm about to do it here, so please don't skewer me. But like, they're like pun 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 pun, huh, huh, pun, honey, huh, 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 and they like Vogue and they drop and shit like that style of music. Maya told me what it was called. I forgot, but she has all of that in the album, and so it's representing that all of that music, all of what black people like to categorize as music, is ours. Because yes, house music was created in Chicago, techno was created in Detroit, so all of that dance music, that drum that feeds your soul, is ours. But again, to bring it back to the Bad Bunny conversation and polish it off, I do find it quite revealing whenever somebody speaks about Bad Bunny not being American or Bad Bunny not having the same president. It just shows their level of ignorance, and it is quite funny. And again, I don't think of a I don't think of a better time to have that level of representation on that stage, especially for what the Hispanic diaspora is experiencing right now. And again, for some people who are uh, keyboard warriors and maybe are showing some anger towards Bad Bunny and saying, "Hey, you didn't do any of your tour in America because of ICE, and you're going back on that by having a performance at the Super Bowl." And ICE is saying they're going to be outside the Super Bowl. Like, let's be fucking for real. Like, you think working class Hispanic Americans are the ones buying Super Bowl tickets? Like, we know who's going to be at that field. Like those tickets cost.
No, they're going to be the people that are working the event. That's the point.
Yeah, but like they're going to rework in the event anyways. So I don't think having Bad Bunny there is going to disproportionately affect ICE being there. Like at this point in time, where we're at with it is much deeper and much more insidious than just Bad Bunny is the reason people are going to be picked up at a higher increase in rate on that date. Like it's like we're already at the point. I mean, if you're following the podcast page, I am every week I'm posting a lot of reposts for videos of people being abducted by ICE or questioned by ICE, but they're literally now just stopping brown people. Uh, it,
I mean, that's fine. My point in saying that was that I think I'm profoundly disturbed by our ability to be like easily distracted by pretty much anything as it pertains to entertainment. And I think that yeah, like if it wasn't this year, if it wasn't this presidency, and if our like literal rights for majority of people weren't being like actually threatened, I don't think I'd be as concerned. But to be honest, I would have. I'm not a keyboard warrior, and I'm not saying anything about Bad Bunny because he's not my people. I respect whatever he's doing, and his people want to criticize him. That's that on that. But as someone outside of looking at it from like a you and your diaspora perspective, and looking at it like as a you are an American, and like you are a person of color, and like are like we are, this is an opportunity. I would have had more respect for him if he would have been like, yo, they asked me to do the Super Bowl and I told them fuck no, because fuck the NFL. You know what I
I
mean?
feel you.
Like I don't
I
really
feel
care
you.
about like if you you know if you wanted to do another tour in America or whatever, like that's your business. That's your literally your business. Like one, he doesn't need to do that because he plenty of people left America to go to
And I
America
mean, and I
to see
mean,
him.
I think.
Um,
Okay, pause. Let's go. Keep going.
because he did tour in America. He toured in Puerto Rico, which is in America. So that doesn't even make any sense. But regardless of that, I think that's
No, he did
that's
a
where I'm at,
residency.
and
He
I
did a
think
residency in
I
Puerto Rico, which was actually very, very beneficial too. No, no, no,
sure.
no. Like you can't talk down on that because the whole idea of
I'm not talking down on it, but that wasn't my point. That's a semantic that I wasn't saying. I was saying people trying to say he didn't play music in America when Puerto Rico is in
oh, you're
America.
saying
Like
I got you, I
stupid.
got you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like it's not about like I understand that it was a residency and not a tour, but my point is he
Puerto
has
Rico
had
should be
his
a state. Should have
opportunity
all the
to
protections of being a state of the United States. Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
and realistically we can't we were closer like five no maybe like 6 7 years ago we were closer to addressing that and moving forward in that space, and now we're like all the way back at hey, can we still get birth control, hey, can we still have abortions in places like there, hey, can we still vote, hey, can we not have someone go into a third term presidency who's already been impeached not once but twice. Like you know what I mean, I just feel like we're really like taking we're waiting, we're really waiting,
Waiting.
everybody's
Yeah. Yeah.
waiting. Like, and I don't understand the lack of
Everybody's
proactiveness.
waiting
And as someone who works
for
in
somebody
healthcare,
else to be the first one.
to come
Oh
save
yeah.
them,
And
to come
listen, we
save
can
you.
and let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. But I want to end on I am interested to see what he'll do on that stage. Because wouldn't it be something if he performs his newest album, which again is a history of how the United States has colonized Puerto Rico and then also tried to ethnically cleanse Puerto Rico and moving Puerto Ricans to New York. And then at the same time, like in Spanish, just completely decimates the Trump regime. Like, what if he just takes like a minute and just literally just curses out Trump in Spanish on that national stage? That would be amazing.
That's
That would be
cute.
fucking
That's
amazing.
cute.
But
And you know what's going to happen? Millions of people are going to tune in, and all of that money is going to go to a huge national, powerful ass organization who's going to take everything that they made from that and use it for the exact opposite of what someone like Bad Bunny stands
no,
for, which is the irony of
well, I mean,
everything.
it's the irony, but again, advocacy is advocacy, and we have to start somewhere. Which, where I do want to start to move in and transition, the No Kings protest.
If you go to the house of your enemy to advocate, I think something's wrong with you. Do you go to enemy camps like to advocate? No, that don't make sense to me.
Uh, yes and no, because this is the whole idea.
Do you show up to your enemy and give them resources to fight against you with?
Well,
I don't
no,
know.
but at the same time, I think the conversation has to be a little bit more nuanced when it comes to resistance. Has to be a little bit more structured because I feel the infighting on the side of individuals seeking liberation holds us all back. For example, right, the conversation around the No Kings protest, and I've seen a lot of it. Personally, I went to one of the No Kings protests in New Jersey and as well as in New York. And I think there is nuance to that conversation, right? Before I get into it, how did you feel about it, or do you want me to just get into my diatribe? Right.
I mean, I think you could get into it. I do think, like, no matter what you say, my point is not that there are not different forms of advocacy or that Bad Bunny is not an advocate or cannot advocate. I just think it is illogical to utilize a platform that is inherently, that does not support what you stand for. And majority of the people that are monetarily supporting that organization also do not stand for those things. And whether you say it to them in English, Spanish, or motherfucking patois, they're not going to understand it because it's not something that they want to identify with. I think something that fundamentally we need to get the fuck over is that people are not, they don't, if they don't want to see it, they don't want to see it. So it doesn't matter. It's not, let's present it a different way and another way, another way. I think we're beyond that. I think that we're now at the point of, yeah, if you want to protest, go protest. That is all well and good. If protesting doesn't feel like enough, do something else. But we need to play ball. And I feel like we continue to not play ball. America is a capitalistic country, which means everything runs on what? Say it louder. It's not Dunkin', bitch. It's money. Okay? We do not run on Dunkin'. We run on USD. And the sooner we start putting our USD where it matters, the sooner you can get what you actually want. Sharing your opinions, booing things, expressing yourself creatively, those are all great. Though they to me are secondary avenues. They are not primary ways to accelerate change. Maybe to spread awareness, and that's fine. If you pick up awareness, great. But we're we are not at a point where we can afford to have everybody in the awareness stage. People need to be in the other
So
stages as
that's
well.
where I do raise my contention with where you're at. You are aware and initiated enough to know that simply protesting is not, especially in a vocal manner, especially in a way of mass collectivism, is not the be all end all. But that's also because you've been initiated. You understand these concepts at a higher level. What we're still dealing with is a constituency of Americans who might understand that what's happening is crazy, but have not been introduced to these ideas of boycotting, these ideas of mass, what do you call it? What do you call it when you don't go to work? Strikes, mass strikes, of targeted ideas of resistance that have been used throughout different liberation movements throughout history because a lot of people have a baseline education in America that's been whitewashed to the point that they don't even know or understand the different liberation movements that have happened throughout American history, let alone the entire world. So that's where I do disagree and say that while, yes, going to an Old Kings protest, going to the Super Bowl and denouncing Trump, or speaking on the history of your culture is not in game, but it is still necessary because, unlike the Democratic Party in this last election, who tried to rope in maybe previous Trump voters or people who like voted Obama and voted Trump and voted Biden and then voted Trump. I think that's useless because the way they tried to rope those in was being a little bit more conservative, right, with their policies. I think to actually rope in those individuals, you do have to continue to educate at every step of the way. And that's what those two things we talked about, the No King protest and the Bad Bunny concert, do in a very real way that is visceral, right? So if you are or concrete, right? It's like if you are maybe a little bit disillusioned with the way the country's going to the point of nihilism where, you have a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't vote because that shit doesn't matter. Or, I live in bumfuck nowhere, red state, and I feel like I'm the only person who believes what I believe. Or maybe you are of Puerto Rican descent, or maybe it's some type of Hispanic diaspora heritage, and you were born in predominantly a white community, and you don't have a lot of community to learn your history. These entryways into your history are important. They could be initiation for the next generation or initiation for the current generation. And it's very it is still very important, the continuation of this education. Now, again, I agree with you. It is not the be all end all. And I think, though, with uh, the increase of the No Kings protest, again, the No Kings protest apparently was the largest protest in American history. What it does is allow us to get more people ready for the next step, right? Where you do have, I think he's the, was he the mayor of Chicago? I forget who, but he, at a rally, like he's an actual elected official of a major city calling for a general strike, right? We are getting to the next stages. And unfortunately, it's not as quickly as we, people who have been paying attention, people who have been aware of how unsustainable this push towards authoritarianism and unregulated conservatism is, right? But again, like our privilege, unfortunately, is being educated, being educated not just in a formal way, but also in a liberation way, right? Being able to read, having the capacity to digest these subjects. We cannot forget that a lot of people, for one reason or another, just don't know shit about shit, even if they are conscious enough to feel what we feel, to see their brothers and sisters being picked up by masked agents, or see people being laid off for no good reason, or see um, programs that help individuals who are working class make ends meet get ripped away from them at every edge. They might not have the competency to know about the different ways that resistance movements throughout history have pushed the culture forward to make the American dream more attainable to different people. So that's the only reason why I say that while on one hand I agree with you that this is not enough, I also don't want us to be so pessimistic and say that this shit doesn't matter or this shit, we got to be done with it, because every time we do one of these mass displays of resistance, it brings more people into the fold, as well as, I think, because again, as somebody who has been very emotionally disturbed by what's going on, to the point where I do feel more and more radicalized every time I see a video or I read more and more, and see how far we have to go and how complacency and apathy has pushed us back. It does reinvigorate me, to be out there with thousands of people who also feel the same way, who feel uh, strongly enough to be out there unmasked, not wearing sunglasses, not wearing face. Like, you can see my face, bitch. Like, I am angry. To see videos or to be yelling at these Gestapo agents, you know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I want to say, is like, it's not to disagree in any way, shape, or form with what you're saying. It's just to add a little bit of nuance and say, like, no, like, this is important. But to agree to add on to what you're saying, though, about how this cannot be the end all be all. You cannot just pat yourself on the back at the end of at 4 p.m. after the No Kings protest is done and say, hey, we did all we could do. Because I remember, so I was at the No Kings protest, and I was talking to one of the organizers for one of the unions that was out there, and I basically said, hey, where are we going? Like, what's the end goal here? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, very disheartening to hear this guy verbatim say to me, I don't know. We're just kind of pushing the energy towards something. You know what I'm saying? He had no concrete answer. Like, we're not going to City Hall. We're not demanding this. And that's very disheartening. But what I had to remember was, one of the things that I read during the not Assata Shakur, but the Angela Davis autobiography, was the idea of the organizers for different protests having to be very quick on their feet, because when you do have that level of energy, that level of mass movement, it does need to be channeled to something purposeful, right? Now, at the time, what would have been, I think, a great use of that energy was say, hey, where are they holding people that are there? Well, where is ICE taking these people that they're kidnapping, right? Direct this mob or this group of people there. Let's go outside of that building and demand them to release those people now. Like that would have been something that could have been very positive. That could have been something very disruptive. But I think those types of ideas only come from individuals who are, I'm be honest, as radical as us, people who are ready for that fight. Um, but at the same time, I'm not saying that there was no benefit from those demonstrations. I'm just saying this is a good start, but yeah, it needs to go further. So no, completely agree with you. Oh shit. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we need to continue to keep the spirit alive, continue people energized, but there does need to be a concerted effort to have a better direction for that energy once it is amassed, you know?
Yeah. I mean, ask me in 10 years if what I think, because right now it's been about 10 years that I would say that I've been initiated, because I've been doing, like, it was my literal job to educate people on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And at every level, it's always exactly the same. I worked in education in Southeast DC, and we had to do a lot of these trainings, and we were always stuck at entry level awareness, no matter how many years it had been. I went to public health, same shtick. At least in public health, it's like we don't really care. We'll treat everybody because that's our job. But I say that to say, much like 2020 and during the George Floyd protests, in times like this, there a lot of attention and things that cause mass awareness, as people like to say, tend to be tend to have a limited impact. And so, yeah, I think, like, for right now, it's gonna happen. So, like, it's gonna happen, but I'm curious to see kind of
I think one of the,
what actually gets done outside of that,
yeah,
which I don't anticipate will be much, to be
I
honest.
think a big problem,
But yeah,
I think a big problem with that too is that from a top level, right, the people who were purport to be at the apex of the resistance movement towards Trump's authoritarianism don't all believe the same things as the people on the ground level who are organizing, right? I think a lot of people on the ground level have that leftist, socialist policy ideas, right? And this is a big thing you saw on the debate stage during Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's campaigns. You saw it even with the Obama administration. It's a centered view of the world, right? Where a centered view of the world is too close to conservatism and is not going to show the effect of change on a working class level. Um, and you see that, like, the base of the Democratic Party, the base of the Independent Party, and even if you really got down to it, the base of the Republican Party is ready for a socialist, more socialist America. You see that in the way that New York has gravitated to a Zohran Mamdani campaign versus anything Andrew Cuomo could say, right? And the problem is every time these resistance movements get from the ground level to a more nationwide energy, it's co-opted by the centrist Democratic Party. And so I think there still needs to be more education on what we're looking for, right? And I'll give an example, and it's specifically on the immigration piece, right? No, actually, no, fuck that. Let's go on the healthcare piece because that's happening right now, right, with the government shutdown. So right now we are experiencing the second largest government shutdown in American history. And depending on who you talk to from a Democratic base, they'll give you a different answer. The main reason why, and this is from the Democratic leaders, we're having a government shutdown is because the Republican constituency wants to pass in their wording, a clean continuation bill resolution, right? But what that would allow for is the expiration of the Obamacare subsidies, which would cause not only millions of Americans to lose their health care outright, but would also show an increased rise in premiums, which would just cause more people who are healthy to get out of the exchanges, which would cause a death spiral of the insurance crisis. Because again, for you to cover everybody or for you to have affordable care, you need everybody to be paying into the pool so that you can have overall costs go down, right? So what the Democratic Party is saying is, hey, we're not going to pass any bill that allows these subsidies to expire because that would basically be killing the Affordable Care Act in perpetuity, right? So the whole idea is healthcare. Now, again, what the Democrats are proposing is a half measure because at the end of the day, the true left position to whatever the fuck the conservative idea of what healthcare is universal healthcare, right? One of the main arguments that Republican pundits, Republican politicians are making to allow these subsidies to expire is that undocumented migrants are receiving health care. What you'll see that most Democrats who are in office will say to that is, no, they're not. They're not allowed to receive health care under this current system that we have. My response to that is, that's not a good answer. The correct answer would be, we should give everybody health care.
It's not the flex you think it is.
Exactly. Like, what type of argument is that? And that's what I'm saying. When you get to the top, the people who are purporting to argue with us are not arguing true leftist values. What's up, Jay? They're arguing centered values, which, when you get down to the base level of working class Americans, nobody fucking wants. If we had a true resistance party, what they would say to those arguments is, yeah, what's wrong with that? I think everybody on American soil should be able to get free healthcare. The same way that if you went to the United Kingdom, the same way if you went to Sweden, the same way if you went to Italy, and you as a tourist broke your arm and went to the goddamn ER, and your bill would still only be like $20 to get it set, to get x-rays, to get an IV, and get morphine for pain. It should be happening here in the richest country in America. Because if we have seen anything to be the truth, is that we have the money to pay for it. We have enough money to give $40 billion to Argentina for no thanks. We have enough money to give a $3 trillion tax cut to the
Argentina where the
0.01%
Nazis
over the
fled
next
to.
10 years. We have a listen, let them know. So that's what I'm saying.
Fuck
So
it.
the crux of the issue is that we do not have a true resistance party speaking on the values that the grassroots movement actually wants, right? And so that's why every time we get this mass movement of energy, it doesn't go anywhere because there's nobody at the apex actually fighting for the values that we want. And that's the problem. We need more politicians like Zoran Mondani, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, like Bernie Sanders, like Ilhan Omar, like Elizabeth Warren, individuals who understand that the problems we face are not going to be fixed through, I'm sorry, Obama, inch by inch progress. It's going to take revolutionary redesign of our system. We need new age, new deal politics, FDR level reimagining of how we move in this country. And that's just that. So, yeah, no, I don't want to hear Democratic politicians using Republican coded language to argue against Republican policy. No, tell them that their ideas for how we treat our fellow human beings are immoral, are inhumane, and are just downright evil. Everybody deserves health care. It's a fucking inalienable right. And that's just that. And so that's what I wanted to say on that issue. We can we can do it again when it comes to quote unquote the problem with immigration, right? The whole idea, the whole problem on the debate stage of Kamala Harris is that every time Trump or the Republicans were talking about undocumented individuals coming across the border and doing crazy things, is that they address the issue in the same way, saying that, yeah, no, we have to have a strong border. The fuck are we talking about? No, we need a much easier uh, and accessible avenue for people to gain citizenship in this country. Point blank, period. Point
Legally.
blank, period.
Yeah.
That's it. That's not that. That's the way you address that. And so, in my heart of hearts, I feel like what working class people, what people who are initiated, what people of the movement need to understand is that it is okay to think outside the box, because the other side is not just thinking outside of the box. They're just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. So we have that same freedom too. Think outside of the box. And our healthcare topic of the month, I guess, because we're doing this every month, I'm going to give you my revolutionary idea for healthcare, because it's not just Medicare for all. I've already talked to Donica about this, but yeah. So to fill you in, Jay, basically what we're talking about right now is kind of the problems we feel um, as working class people of just protesting um, as a performative basis and having no real end result to those protests. And I'm saying, while I agree that there needs to be a more concrete end result, I also think this is not something that we can just let go away, because there are benefits to the performance of the protest, i.e., specifically the No Kings protest. What is your opinion, if you have one? I know you have one. Let me just say that.
I was not talking about I was not talking about protesting. I was talking about Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Well, so
he mostly summed it up correctly. Because I said, why are we
Now,
watching?
hold up,
Why are
Jay.
we
Is that a
watching the
bicep
fucking
band I
Super Bowl?
see?
bicep
That
what?
nigga out here ripped. Can see it through.
Have you
Wait,
seen
Can see it
Jaden's
through the
face?
camera.
It's
I don't
like
know what a
Yeah.
2015.
bicep band is.
We're gonna have to give a viewer discretion advisory before we start putting these videos out.
Not viewer discretion.
Y'all need to get the
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
we don't have guns on
I
our
don't know what
show,
y'all
JV
talking about.
Untitled.
I did.
We're just pulling guns out.
I'm weak. My dumb ass was like, wait, we have guns on the podcast?
So no, I think protests are necessary, right? I think
Outside
that they're
tweaking.
necessary to garner awareness, to garner the necessary attention. But there has to be a call to action, a next step after protest, and I agree taking that energy, whatever that may be, and it's usually incumbent upon like the organizers really to make that next step, because you're organizing these people, so like let's funnel this into a collective and positive action. So it's usually on the organizers, but
Yes.
it's a lost art, and I feel like with the protests, where nowadays it's more so to be seen and to be heard, and not to progress, not to advance, right?
Yeah. But basically what I said to Donica prior to you hopping on was that in the Angela Davis autobiography, when she was recollecting a lot of the protests they had to get like when the Soledad brothers, when they were organizing for those individuals to be released from jail, and they had some protests, and they had a lot of energy that was getting bottlenecked. They had to think quickly on their feet of how to
Hmm.
point that energy to somewhere purposeful.
Hmm.
And so one of the things they did was they took
Hmm.
it to the courthouse, like during the trial. And so what I was saying was, because again, at the No Kings protest, I had asked one of the organizers for one of
Hmm.
the unions, like, "Hey, yo, bro," because like at this point they were marching, right? I was like, "Where are we going?" And the organizer was literally like,
Ah.
"I'm gonna keep it a band with you, bro. I don't know." And I was, and in my head, I was like, "Nigga, what?" But I had this thought, and I was like, "Imagine if somebody had been quick on their feet to say, where are they
Hmm.
holding
Hmm.
ICE detainees? Let's
Hmm.
take this mass movement of people there to
Hmm.
start
Hmm.
yelling
Yeah.
at them to let them go." Like that would have been a perfect use of that energy. And who knows? Who knows? With how untrained those motherfuckers are, they might have said, "Shit,
Yeah,
release them
yeah,
before they
yeah.
come and
No,
break in the
no, I
building."
definitely
You know what I'm saying?
hear what you're saying.
But
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting what happens when a lot of us get together
yeah, Isaiah, keep your ass muted until you got to say something,
till
bro. I
we
see you in the
get
car.
together in a collective way. But something that came up that I feel like must be mentioned is we have to be aware of saboteurs as well, right? And me and you, Jabari, kind of had like an offline conversation about this in passing, where we were talking about it might have been Angela being a counter being COINTELPRO, and something else just recently came out, which I think we already knew, but Al Sharpton, right? Al Sharpton was and has been, but the thing
I
about that
saw
is
that.
like it's an open secret, or like this saying. So Al Sharpton is a known informant,
Wait, what happened?
known informant. He Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
His CI code
Like for the
is
FBI?
CI 7, saying that a lot of those
I
individuals.
just accidentally ended the fucking thing, and we just started a whole new recording. So sorry, guys. Keep going.
No, you good. It was just saying that like those individuals back in the day, like if you weren't
I
assassinated,
hate how fucking dumb I am sometimes, bro.
or arrested, um, it was understood that you were a saboteur, a cooperator, a COINTEL undercover. Somebody
Mhm.
else that was levied against was who was it? Jesse Adams, um,
Jesse Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson. Sorry, I said Jesse Adams. Jesse Jackson, um, and a few other
Like
individuals
Jay-Z.
who are still living
Yeah,
to this day. We talk about civil rights activists, Donica.
Let me
that
tell you
nigga ain't never been a
something.
civil rights
Every time,
activist.
He
every
ain't
now
never
and again,
been one.
Donica says something, and everybody's like, "Donica, you're so crazy! Don't say that!" and then, just you wait. Clock starts now. Jabari has experienced it many times.
Hey,
What-
hey, nah. To your credit though, our last podcast, right? We was just talking about the LeBron love, right? He's above all this, right? Hey, one of his best friends just got arrested with the whole NBA FBI shit, with the whole gambling.
Oh, I did see that. That was
And one
weird.
of the things that he got arrested for, telling people the injury status of LeBron before it was officially announced, so that way they could bet on him. I wonder who was making a little bit of money on the side of that. So I do think the whole LeBron, this situation about to be like a little Shohei Otani situation. I don't know if y'all are familiar with what happened with Shohei Otani, the
Hmm.
biggest baseball player, international by the way. I think he's Japanese,
Japanese, yeah.
and essentially his manager his manager was recently arrested and convicted for wire fraud because
Damn.
evidently he was writing these big ass checks in Shohei Otani's name, and evidently these big ass checks was to pay like the MGM casino or like other people for like gambling and some shit like that. And like the whole conspiracy, I'm putting on my tinfoil hat, is that this was actually Shohei Otani making these bets because his manager was actually like his translator, was actually like pretty much everything for him like in America, but like he was just Shohei Otani's mouthpiece. So like he wouldn't move without Shohei Otani giving him the green light type deal. So
Jesus.
I think the whole situation is going to be very similar to the whole LeBron, well, this whole NBA FBI situation with LeBron's close friend.
But is it?
His name's
Correct me
Damon
if I'm
Jones, by the
wrong.
way.
Wasn't this? So I've seen some stuff on Twitter. I know it's not the best resource, but
Hmm.
isn't the Italian
Why are
mob
you still
like
on
Oh yeah,
Twitter?
in this as
See,
well?
y'all piss
oh
me
But
yeah,
they're
off.
only.
yeah. I'm sorry, Donica. I'm still on
I'm
Twitter
sorry.
too.
I mean, you're on Threads, which is Mark Zuckerberg's cesspool.
I,
Like, if we're gonna be
I'm
anywhere, we're
just
gonna be
saying,
anywhere.
like,
Unfortunately, social media.
Twitter though. When we all get rid of Instagram, I'll get rid of all of them.
but But no, the mob is involved. Like literally, the mob. That's their
Yeah,
bread and butter.
but they're only highlighting
Gambling.
the black players though,
Yeah,
which is
because it's
infuriating.
fuck America. It's America.
Yeah,
It's America. But
yeah.
yeah,
Be sure, whatever they're highlighting the black people, you can tell the white people are doing it 4 times as bad. But um, one of the things I think that I really want to take away from what you're speaking on in this situation in general is that we have to bring back consequences. I think, or one of the statements that has been circulating a lot, especially on social media during this tumultuous time period, is we didn't punish the South enough, right? We did not require enough atonement from the people who caused so much pain and strife to their fellow human beings. And I think a big recent example of that when it comes to war crimes, for one, was when Obama got elected and looked back at the 8 years of the Bush presidency and said, "We're turning the page." And that kind of set the stage for him to continue in Bush's war crimes. I think one of the things we really need to hold true or hold close to heart once we do make it past this period is, hey, we can't just take a half-assed apology and say that's that and we keep moving on. No, there has to be consequences. And again, everybody gets their day in court, due process, but there has to be real atonement. There has to be real consequences, jail time, not just little bitty fines, but like actual garnishing of wealth. Um, for us to have any conceivable idea of a country going forward. So everything that's happening, I'm not saying keep a list and check it twice, but like Tom Homan, that $50,000 of cash that Pam Bondi and every other fucking person in the Republican government trying to say he did nothing wrong, nigga, you're going to jail, bro. Uh, what's her name? The Christy Nome. Yeah, we see you taking $200 million for private jets. Jail, bitch. Donald Trump, jail, bitch. Eric Trump, jail, bitch. All of you niggas need to go to jail. And all of that money needs to be confiscated and re-put back into the economy and re-put back into the purse of the American working class. All this money that they are trying to take out of the tax pool and give back to people who don't fucking need it needs to be recouped. And again, I think we are starting to see examples of how this can be done. You see Zoran Mandani speaking. Okay, and here's the beauty of having politicians who genuinely believed what the ground movement believes, right? You see Zoran Mandani go on any public platform, whether it be the Flagrant podcast, whether it be Fox News, whether it be CNNBC, whether it be CNN, whether it be him talking to random people on the street. He doesn't give you a bullshit, multi-coded, multi-worded answer. He just genuinely speaks on his beliefs, right? A 2% tax increase on the millionaire class in America. And when you have somebody give pushback to that and say, what happens if they leave New York? Well, first of all, they're not going to. But second of all, why would they when, if you truthfully look at how much that would cost the average yearly millionaire, it's a drop in the bucket to what they bring in. And especially when he can have something as a quick retort as, I would tax them less than the amount they're spending to try and prevent me from winning this race. Again, I'll post that for one of our clips, but please go watch his Flagrant podcast and just see how easily he's able to dissect and break down the straw man arguments towards the concrete policies he's trying to implement for the working class people of New York City. We need that on a federal level, okay? People who genuinely believe what they're talking about, okay? So yes, we're gonna we're gonna bring back consequences. Is basically all I'm fucking saying. But shit, guys, my fucking battery's at 30%, so we got to keep going. But we're definitely going to get out of here. Oh, I do want to talk about another thing when it comes from people who quote unquote, oh, that's cute. Did you do those lights yourself?
Thank you.
Oh, that's
Thank
hard,
you.
yo. That's hard. Yeah, that's hard. Um, when it comes to individuals who purport to be on the side of the resistance or purport to be on our side, but if you are actually on our side, you're like, this doesn't smell right. This doesn't pass the smell test. Um, break down what they're talking about. And one of those things that I want to address is the current genocide going on in Palestine, right? So many people who self describe themselves as a Democrat or somebody on the left try to give Trump credit for achieving a peace deal in Gaza. What the fuck are we talking about? I want anybody who was deluded into believing that this man who son-in-law literally passed one of the most uh, bullshit deals in his first presidency to annex the West Bank as well as basically the West Bank, and generally tell me how the fuck do you get a peace deal in Gaza when you don't have any Palestinian representation at the peace deal talks? The fuck are we talking about? Please, please, I implore, if you still are unaware of the situation happening right now in the Gaza Strip or the West Bank, because yes, the West Bank is being annexed right now. You have settlers, Israeli settlers, every day harming villagers. There was a great reporting done on a recent village raid because right now what's happening in the what's happening right now is that it's olive picking season in the West Bank and Gaza, and so
They're
plenty of
destroying it.
Palestinians are trying to go to their land and harvest olives because it's one of their main exports, and they're being targeted and attacked by Israeli settlers. And a lot of this information would not be getting to the general public if it wasn't for brave reporters on the ground in Palestine right now reporting on these issues. So again, for anybody trying to give this megalomaniac authoritarian credit, shut the fuck up. You don't know the first thing of what you're talking about, okay? This situation, this entire ordeal is being caused by a fascist, authoritarian, ethno-nationalist government that is trying to create a greater Israel and has been on a warpath for that since the start of the 20th century. This goes deep, guys. The reason why Israel exists on the map as it is because of this ethnic cleansing campaign. Just read a book. I'm telling you, great book. I gave y'all resources on it. The 100 Years War in Palestine. You literally get to the first chapter and be like, holy shit, this shit is so fucked up. But again, there are little tells and obvious tells that agent provocateurs, uh, what's another word for people who try to co-opt the movement, Jay Beyonce?
Grifters.
Yeah, yeah, will use to try that reveal themselves to be what they are.
Yeah.
And again, anybody who's talking about peace in Palestine and between Palestine and Israel that does not believe or does not agree to having Palestinian representation at the table is full of shit, bro. It's just full of shit. And again, anytime they talk about Hezbollah, know that that was a group that Israel backed. They talk about Hamas, that was a group that Israel backed because, again, both of those groups emerged after the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which was the main governmental group in Palestine prior to I think it was the 1968, the 60s invasion of Lebanon and Beirut before they were rooted out, and there was a 2,000 civilian massacre and refugee camps in Lebanon. They put those organizations there, and now they're doing the same thing by trying to say we won't negotiate or we won't have any meaningful talks until that group is gone. You just have to like
It,
do
they
5 minutes of research.
they literally took a playbook out of the United States. What do? Destabilize a region, destabilize an area, pretend that they didn't want the destabilization, and then say, hey, those people that we funded underneath the table or supported, we don't support those people any longer. They're terrorists after the destabilization has occurred. That's literally what happened with the Iran Contra wars. That's literally happened with Vietnam. Well, not in Vietnam necessarily, but with the Colombia and the whole incidents regarding what they tried to do in Cuba. Literally, all America does, and now Israel.
That's what they're trying to do with Venezuela.
Yep. Exactly.
Which,
Um,
by the way, is nobody going to talk about? We're just blowing up civilians in the middle of the fucking Pacific Ocean right now. And when asked about it, Trump's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to get uh, permission from Congress. I think we're just going to kill people." This nigga's literally saying it. Can we throw him in jail now? Like, what the fuck?
The thing is, who's going to throw him in jail? I think that's where we're stuck. We're at the crossroads of like, okay, yeah, we all he's. I think for most people, it's like, I don't know. We impeached him, and then we impeached him again, and now he's the president. Like he's appointed all these people that are going to defend him. Like who, literally, whomst is going to put this man in jail? Like they're all on his payroll. Like we all stood by and let him become the president. We should have. Never mind. I'm not gonna say what we should have done because I'm not trying to go to jail.
They should have kirked his ass.
Fuck that. It's the First Amendment. We should have.
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
it,
yeah.
say
You
it.
know what I'm
We
saying?
should have CK Calvin Klein his ass.
When I told y'all niggas last year, ain't no bullet grazing his ears. Y'all need to try harder. You should have listened to me.
Yo, no, I'm fully like I know I've already said
Jamari
I'm fully
gaslit
there
me.
with you. No, I gassed it too. I did, but let me tell you, I was at the job the other day, and somebody was also saying that shit, and I was like, yeah, that's what it is.
But y'all don't ever want to listen to black women. And see, this is where I would like to. I would like to go back to also Amanda Seals because I was talking about her last year, and it wasn't trendy.
Right,
It wasn't
right.
trendy to be to be like an Amanda Seals. She was too much, too radical, too much of a pusher, too much of a thinker. She's
I
just
was
we liked her
blind.
better
I
when
was.
she would straighten her hair and act like Tiffany on Insecure.
Dare I say I was insecure? Damn, you took the joke before I could say it. Fuck.
Amanda Seals is cool. I still have my issues with the false accusations that she levied against another black man, but she cool for other reasons. And I'll leave it.
Nobody's
Why are they
perfect.
false? How do we know they're false?
He was proven. It was proven to be false, and she recanted
By
it
who?
herself.
Oh, that,
I'll send you the info. I'll send you. I'll send
I
you.
was like, I don't
That's
know.
herself. Like, oh shit, cool. Listen,
I said, I
listen. It's like
mean,
Kendrick Lamar
Nah,
said, "It's
because
tricky out here.
real
You
talk.
better
This is
off
an
having
NFL
roses right
player
now."
who went to
I'm not talking
medical
about her
school and
personal
became a
life.
doctor. Is one of the Roll brothers. I think it was either Myron or Byron Roll. But like it was a huge thing. That's all. That's the only reason
No,
why
I
I know
believe
about
that.
it.
I believe that. I mean, I do think that like, and I don't. I mean, no disrespect to Amanda Seals or anybody else that suffers from any sort of mental health issue.
She
But
does.
I do think that they're unfortunately when you're like extremely intelligent and have radical quote unquote, I very much want to quote unquote radical thoughts and ideas and you share them and a lot of people like essentially shit on you for them or ostracize you, like it takes a toll on your mental health and it makes people snap. We've seen it. I mean, Kanye West, stand up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think when it comes to those things, like,
God
unfortunately,
damn, Kanye.
people are people, and if you actually understand how mental health works, there's usually a trigger that unlocks, it's in you. You're one bad experience away from having a mental health crisis of your own, first of all,
Listen,
right? Like
listen, listen.
other
I was out here thinking my mom was schizophrenic for a whole year until I brought her back
okay,
home.
and that's coming from like not from a place of judgment. It's just saying like, unfortunately, when that's something that we like to like ignore and shame and hide from as a society. And while it's all fun and games and the black people can make a joke out of anything, they will literally make out a joke out of anything, and that includes you, your thoughts, your feelings, your livelihood. And I mean, for someone who pretty much had like, she's been in Hollywood for a long time, has been affiliated with a lot of people, she chose to ostracize herself from many opportunities simply to stand on what she believes in. And I think at baseline, a lot of people don't have that. And when you talk about like revolutionaries and people who give their lives to the cause, like she's one of the few people who I can think of that has a lot of influence that has actually, in fact, given her life to the cause. Like she has walked away from actual opportunities that now, how much of that is your mental health? That me, I don't know. Me don't know. But what I'm saying is,
But
going
no,
back
but
to
no, but
when I was sharing about her, it was never about like, oh, she's perfect or whatever. It was like, yo, some of these like radical ass things, quote unquote, that she's saying and like political theories and the way things that she was predicting were going to happen were in fact spot the fuck on. That's it. Listen to
yeah,
black women.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And
unfortunately,
I rock with her part, but not
I think
everything.
yeah, of course, nobody's perfect. We're all human. But what I will say is this too: is that is a very real reality. And to go back to the people who don't necessarily understand the fight we're undertaking, but to be a revolutionary, to have revolutionary ideas, is low key suicidal, especially in a country that is co opted by capitalistic thought to the point that it's so indoctrinated that people have to be jolted out of reality to realize what they're living in is not sustainable.
Well, we punish individual like we punish individual thought and we prioritize groupthink, even though we somehow also prioritize individualism in order to sell capitalism. So it's like we want you to be seemingly an individual as long as you're the same type of individual as the ones that we've already approved for you to be.
America, the
Like
land of illusion. The land of illusion.
it's
It just
do
it
as
just
I
hurts my
say.
soul because if Kanye would have just waited 2 years.
Jabari. Anyway,
No, Jabari. Fuck
his
out of
his
here.
mom died.
Kanye own another one. He needs he needs help.
His
No,
mother
listen.
died, and that was
If
the
he would have
trend.
if he would have went on Alex Jones right now, you know, niggas. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Deviante, do you want to guess what my costume is based off of a certain accessory I'm wearing?
I was gonna ask, are you a fairy?
She was
Or
a fairy. Yeah,
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 that's where it
yeah.
was. I thought it was. I couldn't
There you
see
I'm
it.
mad.
go.
I'm mad. I was muted because I was with you. I was backing you up.
Yeah,
But do you
yeah.
know which fairy?
Tinker.
Obviously, the baddest bitch of them all.
Hey.
Tinker Bell be
Nigger
ready to
Bell.
scrap the fuck up. Not nigga Bell. Why you always gotta go? And it's Tinker nigga to
Um,
you.
Oh wait, off topic. All right, we could no, we can talk about this afterwards. But
no, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because I'm not
no,
gonna be able to be on the phone afterwards. I got switched to the battery.
a Halloween party.
Yes, I'll be there. Will you be there?
I won't be there. I'll be at another Halloween party.
Are you gonna
I'm
be here?
sending my love though.
Or are you gonna be there?
No, I'm gonna be in Richmond.
Okay.
I'm sending my
So
love.
wait. So that was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
just spoke in code. We knew what we were talking about.
No. Okay. All right. So real quick, just some highlights, and then I want to get into the health topic because my phone's gonna die. So the
Where
AI
are you?
bubble is
Give
real.
us, give it. Where are you? What are you doing? Why are you out in the world?
he on the mean streets of
I
Jersey
am.
City.
Like,
Nigga, I'm in New York right now.
You in New York?
I'm in yeah, I'm in Manhattan. AB and Devontae are out here, so we're bulling. Yes, Devontae, who was I guess still on this podcast, but like is
only
not
when
trying
we
to give his
Wait,
remind.
thoughts on
When's the
anything.
last time he was on this podcast? He's a less frequent
Deviante, you want
guest
to be
than
official?
Deviante.
tell
Deviante,
him
you
I
want to be
said what's
That's how
official?
up.
you.
I'll follow
That's how
No,
you.
you.
I am
That's
a
how you
guest
gonna ask him.
contributor. I'm not official.
That's
All
how you.
right, all right,
I
all right.
wouldn't be. I wouldn't be a contributor either. Asking him like that. You want to be official? Like I know. Like send him a
There's
bottle or
no
something.
pay. There's no pay, and there's only risk. I think.
That nigga's
But
got
I
no
mean,
decorum, Deviante. How do you teach them decorum?
I'm not signing up for none of this shit. No, I'm playing.
See,
all
see,
right, all right. But real quick, guys, real quick. There's an
not
AI
nothing.
bubble.
Not
There is
AI,
an
bubble.
AI bubble, and honestly, I think that with the way Trump is running this country into the ground. We're going to see it burst, and a lot of people are going to hurt. So do your due diligence and look into it. I myself have moved around my own portfolio a little bit to be more balanced with gold and some other foreign international stocks like TD Bank and just some other shit. But that'd be a good thing to look into. For sure, the Supreme Court is setting up to gut officially the Voting Rights Act. John Roberts has been on a fucking uh, one man mission to get rid of the ability for black people to represent themselves in areas that they are well congregated in. And again, for everybody who says, I don't vote because it doesn't matter about my vote, if your vote didn't truly matter, they wouldn't be trying to get rid of it. Next,
As
I
a reminder,
really,
Jabari is not planning on voting in a very
I didn't
important
say,
election.
I didn't say I'm not planning on voting.
No,
I'm
no, no, no.
saying
You are not planning
I
on
missed
voting,
the deadline to get my absentee
but
vote. It
the
ended at
actual
5
vote hasn't
p.m.
happened yet. So you
Oh
didn't
my
move to
god,
motherfucking
that's
Timbuktu, but
not.
you're in New York. It's
So
a
you got to
plane
drive
ride.
all the way
It's
down to
a
Virginia, little old Virginia,
Yeah,
to cast your vote.
yeah, because
no,
I
no. He's not going to. That's what I'm
the
saying.
absentee ballot the cutoff was
No,
5
no, no.
p.m.
We don't
and
care
I
about
You're
all
gonna
that.
be
We
here
don't
the
care about why you
entire.
couldn't find one of your 17 days off and figure it the fuck out. What we care about is the fact that you now still have the opportunity to vote and you're not doing it because of what is it? Laziness. Anyway, I just wanted to
okay.
remind people to be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it.
How do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about the strategy for primaries though, where like say for example in New York, no, not New York. Well, let's say for example it's a blue place, and the place is going to vote blue, but you also want, just in case the place doesn't vote blue, a decent Republican or somebody on the opposition. Like, how do you all feel about strategizing and voting for that person who you would want in case the Republicans were to win?
I am kind of how do I put this? How do I put this? How do I, I'm a radical. I think the Republican Party should be extinct. So my advice for everybody voting is no more R words. No
Mm.
Republicans should get any votes. Fuck them all.
So, you,
They're all pedophile sympathizers. They're all racist sympathizers. They're all corrupt capitalist sympathizers. And again, I'm not saying there's certain Democrats who aren't that. I'm just saying the entirety of the Republican Party is that, from a national level to a state level. Simple as that.
so for
I don't.
a
Like genuinely. If you consider yourself a Republican, my question is what for? Like even the idea of conservatism, of keeping shit the same, of pushing shit backwards, it is illogical to me. Like what the fuck are
Well,
you talking about?
that's because within the Republican Party, they consider themselves to be Republicans and then MAGA. They feel like they are
No,
somehow separate
it's the same
entities,
thing.
even though they're not.
And I hate the
Well,
fact that Democrats allowed that to happen. No, it's the same fucking thing.
calm
MAGA
down.
is literally the culmination
I'm not
of Republican
disagreeing with you.
policy.
I'm saying
No,
you
no,
got
no,
to
no, no.
understand the
I'm
enemy to
not.
fight
This
the
is not to
enemy.
you. This is not to you. This is to anybody listening. MAGA is the culmination of Republican policy over the last 100 fucking years. Okay, what are we talking about?
Javiante,
So
to
yeah,
answer
no.
your question, I feel like there
Oh,
is a time for that strategy, and the time has now passed because
it's time have now fucking passed.
we have a, regardless of whether you believe that there's a difference or not, the person who is in office is 100% MAGA. And so in that context, it's a fuck no. There,
Yeah.
that's the party that he's utilizing to be able to do what he wants to do. And that party's not stopping him. And neither is the Democratic Party. So I'm personally a fuck both parties person. But
No, vote. Please, please vote. Please, if you're gonna vote, vote a Democrat, vote an independent who
That's
is
what I was gonna
left
say. That
leaning.
was just food for thought. That was just some thought
yeah, no, I
provoking
actually don't even, but I
conversation.
don't even want you to vote independent or whatever the fuck. Like, just vote for Democratic person. We'll figure it out from there. You know,
Thank you. Yes, yes,
we'll take it from
yes.
there. Don't overthink
I
it,
can't
champ.
say
I,
this
I
enough.
don't agree with that though. Like, I don't agree with
I
just
can't.
vote for the Democratic person
Well,
because Democrats have
well,
thrown us under
I,
the
No,
bus
no,
so many
but listen.
times.
Hey. Here's my
I'm
theory
gonna
on
go with
that.
the devil I know.
Would Kamala have been better?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then
that's it.
let's
That's
just
it.
start there.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
all we're
We
saying.
gotta
That's
walk.
all
We
we're
gotta do
saying. You
these
know what I'm saying?
baby
We,
steps.
we gotta walk. And niggas wanted to fucking jump off a cliff, and they gave it to this nigga again. Like
But
what?
my avenue of radicalism or radical thought is that we have to break away from the two party system, even if it means we have to just have a radical break. Meaning, like,
I
yeah,
agree.
Kamala
But is that
Kamala
gonna
would
happen
have been
this
better,
election
but
season?
we have to be so loud to say, hey, y'all not listening to us. So guess what? Fuck them on the other side, fuck them Republicans, but also fuck y'all for playing in our face all this time. And now we got to figure out a third way. It's the third way where my radical ideology lines with.
I don't disagree. I just don't think that we are like organized enough to have that happen.
Well, fuck it. Let's organize people then. Let's get it going.
Damn, Javiante, you don't want me to ever get married, huh? Niggas gonna be like, now the bitch want to start. She go PA school now. She want to start a liberation
What you
movement.
mean you're gonna find your husband on the political campaign trail
So
first
that
and
not the
foremost?
political camp trail, guys. I'm
Yes.
exhausted.
Yes,
I wanted
because
to become a provider. I feel like I already fought to become a provider, to be like a medical provider, not like a provider of liberation for all people.
no, fuck that because we got somebody like RFK fucking who's
No,
supposed
you're
to be
right
in the
though.
medical field providing
I'm actually
and
ready to scrap. I'm
what
ready
is
to
he
scrap over
doing?
that. He's
Get your
trying to kill us.
mans.
They're moving up. So it's crazy because they're moving up the scheduling for when they give out measles vaccines. Normally they wait till you're a year old, and they're starting to give them younger now because motherfuckers is not vaccinated. Entire communities have measles rampant in their community, and like that's
You're
crazy.
muted,
Like
Jabari.
we're literally
Oh,
changing
good.
healthcare for the worse. Like people are like, oh, we don't want to give any vaccines. And now we're gonna have to give them even younger, which is a higher risk than when we like previously had herd immunity and didn't like could wait till you were a year old. You know what I mean? Like people just don't, we're not seeing it. And you're honestly right. I do feel like unfortunately, no matter what we do, people who need to lead are gonna have to lead. And I do think that like I don't know what that looks like. I think like we're all like right around that time frame where I don't know. I can't speak to a timeline, but pretty soon it's like we just can't let people who actually have no experience and don't know anything run the show. But to the point
Yeah.
of
No.
how
Listen.
going
Listen.
from where we are to there, I do think that like we got to start like I think we're like just starting to get to the point where we have the capacity to do that. Everybody's been like hustling in their career, getting their experience in, and like establishing themselves in their own right, and getting credentialed and things that actually entitle us to know what we're talking about, just to find out that mediocre white men are still trying to lie in our faces.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm sick
Listen.
of
I
it.
said.
I'm
I
sick
said
of
no
it.
more R word. I said no more R word. But I also kind of believe that we should have a moratorium on white male politicians. I'm just being honest. But let us finish off, okay? Let's get to our health topic of the week because my phone's going to die and I really want to get this revolutionary idea out. And it actually corresponds with you guys' conversation on RFK Jr. destroying our vaccine scheduling. I believe Medicare for all is not the answer to our question of how to fix the healthcare industry. I think it is a part of the answer. I think we need to nationalize the healthcare industry. Okay. And there's a few different reasons why. Um, Multi-pronged answer here, right? So first and foremost, we have a problem right now with getting people covered and people insured and able to pay for healthcare. So if you nationalize healthcare, you give Medicare for all for everybody, that takes that issue out, right? And that goes from a insurer standpoint, right? So the government is now offering you a healthcare plan. You still probably be able to get some private insurance if you want to get Botox injected into your face or get a fucking BBL. But like, if you just need insulin or you need a not gastric bypass, you get more actual medical conditions, but you need your gallbladder removed, you had a heart attack, and you had to have a cardiac cath. All of these things are covered, and there's a standardized pricing for it that you don't even have to worry about because the government sets that price, right? So that's that. But on top of that, right now, what we're experiencing is a critical shortage of healthcare workers. So that goes from the top all the way down. So not just nurses, not just doctors, not just PAs, not just MPs, but techs, security. Every bit of the healthcare field could use more healthcare workers. So by nationalizing the healthcare field, I feel like we could truthfully get a solution to this, right? And here's what I'm thinking. The same way that the government says, hey, you want to give 4 years of your life to the military? We're going to set you up basically for life, benefit wise. The same way with healthcare. So we have government run education institutions that prepare you to be a provider, prepare you to be a nurse, prepare you to also be a tech or security, right? So this way, you no longer, because the big thing right now, specifically when it goes to nursing school, there is a problem I've seen very much with the healthcare or with nursing school. You'll have individuals who want to become nurses, but are thrust with a very difficult decision. You can either go to a private nursing school because it's easier to get into, but you're going to be ended up paying 4 times as much to get in, or you could get on a wait list, or if you're so lucky to have the grades to get into a public nursing school, you can get into like that, right? So again, what I'm talking about is this. If you're in California, the cost of going to a community college or a public university is probably going to run you about $10,000 to $30,000 to get your RN licensure, right? The problem is those schools only take about 30 to 40 students every cohort every year. You might have 100 to 200 people applying to that program every year. So what do the other 160 people have to do? They have to go to a private institution. The problem is, to get the same licensure, they're going to pay about $160,000 to get a degree or get an RN license. That's insane. That's fucking insane. You've now saddled this person with enormous amounts of debt. And instead of that person coming out of school and being able to spend 90% of their income on or in the economy for whatever they want, they now have to spend a portion of it paying back student loans to a corporation that's not doing anything with that money. You know what I'm saying? Additionally, on top of that, one of the ways that nursing school works is that if you fail 2 courses, you're completely out of the program. Now, I'm not here to say there shouldn't be a competency base, right? But what I am saying is, if we're currently in a nursing shortage and the idea is we need you to pass this course to get through the program to then get into the career where you're going to get the majority of your on-site training. Now, don't get me wrong, like the actual book knowledge is important, but you get the majority of your experience on the job. You know what I'm saying? What sense does it make to say 2 strikes and you're out? What that looks like to me is 2 strikes and you're out, so we can get somebody else in this program to pay us another however much money. It's a capitalistic scheme to make money. It's not we have a problem, let's solve it. You know what I'm saying? So this is what that would take. It would take the profit piece out of it and would literally be looking at the problem of we need more healthcare workers who are trained and ready to attack the growing elderly population of our country. So nationalizing it will give us more providers, but also by nationalizing it, we're taking the education cost piece out of it. Because here's the other idea, right? For Donica, for example, she went and got a PA degree. How much was your PA degree cost you, Donica, again? It's like
$150,000.
Exactly. So Donica is going to come out making good money, right? But with that level of debt, she's going to be saddled with it and has to adjust her life to pay it. Imagine if the government said, hey, you come to us, we'll pay for that. We need more healthcare providers. We're going to pay for your schooling. All we require, similar to the military, is that you serve in a government-run hospital for 4 years. And then you're good to go. Now what that does is allow Donica to immediately get out of school, serve her country, but also reinvigorate the economy, because instead of paying $2,000 a month to fucking pay back her student loans, which probably have a crazy interest rate, she's immediately reinvesting that into the economy by buying shit. Small businesses,
Going to the strip club,
clothes, car.
ordering wings.
It's putting that money back into the economy, circulating the fucking tax dollars, you know what I'm saying?
Jamie have to think
Again,
real hard about
also,
something because he did not react.
also, lastly, I think I'm hitting all the pieces. The other piece that this helps, right? Because now we're talking about the low. Okay, if you are a security guard at a hospital, I'm not trying to shit on you, but the lowest skill required for a healthcare job is like security, is administration, is a tech job, right? Still of the job. But imagine a system where we're saying, hey, we value this position. We need more people in this position. So you're going to work security at the job. We currently live in a country that has outsourced every manufacturing job imaginable. There's no more low skill, high wage work. This is the area where we can reinvigorate that because I work in a career right now in the ER where it's not safe. Security is very crucial. Imagine if we had a pipeline where, hey, you just got out of school, you played D3 ball, you played D1 ball, you didn't make it to the league, you're 6'5", you're 200 pounds, you need a second career that pays you well. We have a security position at this job where we're going to train you for a year or two, give you jujitsu skills, de-escalation skills, give you entry-level psychology skills. And so your job now is to protect this facility. But you're better trained than police officers are trained. You're better trained than anybody imaginable at this career ever could be trained. We're solving issues while also taking out the profit motive of the people who are ruining our healthcare industry. Did I hit every point? So we're solving not just the healthcare worker crisis. We're solving, or we're helping to solve the shortage of low skill, high wage work problem. And we're also solving the increased debt burden that all three of those classes of people have when trying to better their lives. So it might be kind of crazy. Some might think it's drastic, but I think to solve the issues we are currently facing in this country, we need to have revolutionary optimism. And revolutionary optimism requires revolutionary imagination. So that's my whole topic of the day, guys. Let's think bigger. Let's think different. Well, let's get to content of the week and let's get out of here because my phone is about to die. 4%. What content you guys got?
Tell me y'all fuck. So first of all, that was profound. I agree with that. That visualization and ide- idealization of the healthcare field in America. I think that would be great for us, and that would be a good solution, Jabari. But as far as content, y'all fucked with that that versus that No Limit and Cash Money versus that it came out
I,
on Saturday.
I saw clips, but I didn't watch it yet.
I didn't see
So
it. Unfortunately, is that like a Facebook thing? Because I don't do that. What?
nah, this joint was on Apple Music, Complex Con. Complex having a convention in Vegas. It was part of their convention.
I don't do
It
Apple
was
Music either.
it was real dope. It was cool. It was good to see both of them get on stage together and stuff like that, especially with their background with the beef. Both crews sets being from New Orleans, being very very close in proximity and time, like coming up with each other and stuff like that. Um, I wish it was longer. I wish it was a little bit more organized. Black people. But hey, that's just what it is sometimes. But yeah, it was dope. That's my content of the week. Shout out to Master P. Shout out to No Limit. Cash Money was cool too. Always gotta show love to Cash Money.
Oh
Wait,
yeah, what you got, Donica?
was the spirit of Teddy Riley there? Was that the issue? Because I remember that being an issue on a lot of the verses.
Nah, nah. The issue was that they didn't book the venue for a long enough time.
Oh, okay, casual,
Black
just
people.
just like the most important
Jesus
part.
Christ.
The most important part.
I love my
Um,
niggas, but
Hey,
I'd be so stressed out by my niggas sometimes, bro.
no, real shit. They in mid stride of the verses. Like the verses actually heating up. Like we feeling that shit. Man and
they're
Fresh
like,
getting like,
Lights
hey,
go
cut
off.
it.
hey yo
They're
yo,
like,
we
cut
only
it.
got 4 minutes left, so we about to do one verse each. We only got 4 minutes left, but we got to get out of here. What the fuck you mean?
Yeah, the disorganization is where this is where I'm like, are we ready? Are we organized? Are we
No,
ready?
no.
Um, guys, it was our homecoming weekend. Like, a week ago. DCYoungFly came and he hosted the Step Show. That was pretty fun. The Step Show
What?
was
Lit.
very lit.
Yeah, that's pretty lit. I ain't know DC Young Fly was out there, John.
Yeah, and then they had like a go-go like live band because it was Seamus's 40th shit. I didn't know about none of this. I was not involved with any of the
It was
planning.
Seamus 40.
Let
Niggas
It
ain't
was
get the
Seamus
memo
40th.
at
pleasantly
all.
surprised.
We was
Pleasantly
lit. We was
surprised.
lit. We had
I
live
might have kind
music.
of would have stepped out.
We
Maybe.
had a good time. Like,
Probably not.
thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Guys, I got 2% of
Go,
battery. Let's speed up. Let's speed up.
Jabari.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Jabari.
No,
No,
it's fine.
Jabari's like, why are you interrupting me? He's always interrupting. Anyway, outside of that, it was that night I came back to DC and my content of the week was going to the Odeal concert. This like pretty young, like Nigerian kid that's out of South London.
You got a
He's
feature with Wale.
got a feature and so Wale popped out actually to the concert. So I
Ah.
was having a great weekend, guys.
Hey,
I went
sound
from
lit.
DC Young Fly to, the live band to Wale. I said, dang, okay. Yeah, that's about it. Homecoming
All
season's
right.
feeling fall. Get your vaccinations and wash your hands. Dirty
All right.
motherfuckers.
Love it. My content of the week is the Sudan archives by an artist by the name of doo, 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 doo. Oh no, my bad. Sudan archives album, the BPM released last week. It's a techno album. It's amazing. Techno is black music created in Detroit that imagines a future for the world. Check it out. But again, we gotta get out of here. This is Bullshit for Your Health podcast. I love you guys. We'll also be posting some
That sounded like a
resources
commercial.
because November 1st they will be cutting off a lot of EBT SNAP programs, and we'll give y'all some resources for what you can do to try and stay alive out here, man. But love you guys. We'll be out. Peace.
Bye.